Okay, time now to check in on the latest business news. And some 10 Southeast Asian countries have just wrapped up a summit in Bangkok. To bring us the outcome of that, we're joined on set by Catherine Bennett. Catherine, what were they discussing?
Well, these 10 Asian countries actually used the summit as a way to slam protectionism in the ongoing US-China trade war. They said that protectionism was harming global trade. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations has also been trying to wrap up a trade deal for a number of years already, 7 years to be exact. Peter O'Brien has more on that.
The agreement could span almost half the world's population and more than a third of its GDP. But negotiations for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, have been going on since 2012. This year, Southeast Asian countries are determined to get it signed.
The winds of protectionism are battering the multilateral system, and we must hang on to each other even more strongly. RCEP will be the largest free trade area in the world and can cushion any impact from the ongoing trade conflict between some of ASEAN's key trading partners.
RCEP would bring together the 10 member states of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, along with 6 other countries. At a summit in Bangkok, ASEAN leaders warned the trade dispute between the United States and China could seriously hurt their economies. RCEP aims to limit this damage and strengthen the region's global bargaining power. It's also an opportunity for China to influence the rules of Asia-Pacific trade after the US withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership 2 years ago. A lot remains to be ironed out before RCEP can be signed, however. One major sticking point: India fears Chinese goods could flood its consumer markets and deal a big blow to Indian industry.
China told media on Monday that trade talks with the US were underway. Talks between the two countries broke down last month, leading to the US threatening to pile on even more tariffs on another $325 billion worth of goods. That's nearly all Chinese imports into the United States. Xi Jinping and Donald Trump are set to meet ahead of this week's G20 summit. A Chinese official this morning called for compromise between the two countries.
We hope the US can, in the spirit of free trade and with the principles of the WTO, remove the inappropriate unilateral measures against Chinese companies and remove them from the list of entities subject to export control.
And in more news from China, Europe's largest retailer, Carrefour, is leaving the Chinese market. The French company has decided to pull out of the country after years of low sales. Last year, it posted sales of €3.6 billion, down almost 10% on 2017. It sold 80% of its China division to the Chinese retailer Suning.com, which runs a network of over 8,000 stores in more than 700 cities across the country. In contrast, despite being in the market since 1995, Carrefour only has 210 hypermarkets and 24 convenience stores. Its Chinese operations are valued at €1.4 billion. Now let's have a look at the markets today. So in Asia, we're positive across the board, with Chinese stocks moving the most. The Shanghai Composite up by 0.5% in this day's trading. Over in Europe, Europe stocks opened mixed, with the FTSE and the DAX down. The CAC 40 kept its head just above the flat line at 0.04%. Meanwhile, oil prices remain high as US-Iran tensions show no sign of abating. US President Donald Trump is, of course, due to impose fresh sanctions on Iran later today. Brent futures were up 0.71% to $65.66 a barrel. The WTI rose over 1.25% to $58.16 the barrel. The Bank for International Settlements warned that Facebook's new digital currency Libra could help the social media platform establish a dominant position in global finance. It said that regulators need to look into the risks of new digital currencies and ensure that they don't upend financial stability or threaten competition. But Facebook's plunge into cryptocurrency has given the sector a helpful boost. Bitcoin traded above $11,000 for the first time in 15 months on Monday, gaining 13% from Friday. It's now dropped, valued at $10,713. Analysts say that the arrival of Libra on the scene has renewed interest in cryptocurrencies, sending major digital coins on a quick upward surge. We're still a long way, however, from its record highs of over $19,000 at the end of 2017. So there you go, Facebook could be upending the global financial system.
Indeed, and we're back to that question, is it or is it not time to invest in Bitcoin? Catherine Bennett, thanks a lot for that wrap-up of the business news. Time now to take another look